episode of Off the Script, number 191, part number 1, for your Friday, October 13th, 2017! I got news on Jimmy Jacobs being fired by the WWE for taking a picture with the Bullet Club. How much more petty can WWE be? Also, I have major news on WWE looking to sign Ricochet for January 2018. Also, I have news on Stephanie McMahon conducting an interview this week saying that the WWE listens to their fans. Yeah, right. Also, I got news on Jinder Mahal working through an injury. Now, if he would only drop the WWE title because of that injury. Also, I got news on why Asuka versus Emma is happening at WWE TLC. I got the original plans for the Bludgeon Brothers. What was the original plans for both Erick, Rowan, and Luke Harper? All this, plus so much more, right here on the number 1 fucking podcast! Right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Man, the podcast feels a little bit naked, doesn't it? Feels naked without any theme music. Good thing my brother has informed me that the song that he has written for Off the Script is done. We're just waiting on his guitarist, Tony, to now write his theme song. So there'll be 2 theme songs. And then my brother said that Tony is going to lay down solos over his song and Tony's own song. So we're going to have the best sounding theme song in all of the wrestling landscape for podcasting. I'm telling you right now. I do not doubt my brother ever when it comes to music, and I do not doubt Tony when he puts together a solo. So you guys got a treat coming for you. My brother showed me a little MIDI sample. He's got this computer-generated guitar synth program that he has on his laptop. He showed me what it's going to be sounding like. It's very melodic. It's very epic. It's not really all Legionary-ish. You know, it's very melodic. It's easy listening for everybody. There's not going to be any vocals. It's all going to be instrumental. So it's going to be good, man. I can't wait. Plus, we're going to get a new logo and banner done for the introduction. Everything's coming together, man. Off the Script's going to even be better. It's going to be taken higher in 2018, man. And it all starts with the little things. So thanks to my brother and Tony in advance. I should be joining them in the studio when they actually go to record these things. My brother said he wants to get it done ASAP. So that could be any time between now and the end of October. So hopefully you guys will be hearing about that very, very soon. We have some new theme music here on Off the Script. But I want to thank everybody for joining me, as always, this morning. I hope I'm monetized. I had a miserable time. And I don't want to make a big deal about it. It's just, I hate it, dude, because I spend so many hours in this chair. I spend so many hours in front of this microphone, in front of this camera, and you know, I don't want to have to go through a review process for something that I know should be monetized. I did an Off the Script extra video that I wanted to get up for the YouTube channel on Thursday afternoon. I had it done by 2 o'clock. I wanted to upload it by 2:30 because I was streaming The Walking Dead. We did episode 4 for Telltale's The Walking Dead game for PlayStation 4. We live streamed that for about 2.5 hours. Another great stream. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys are loving the Walking Dead series, and I'm going to continue it because we've had almost 500 viewers each time we're live, man. That's good stuff for YouTube, especially for a game that's almost 5 years old. But I made an Off the Script extra video, and it was one of those extras that I really wanted you guys to hear because it was a very opinionated piece about this entire Neville situation. You guys are probably wondering why I am not talking about the Neville situation in part one of this weekend's podcast, being that it's the biggest story going around in WWE right now, I made an entirely separate video for it. I uploaded it 4 times, and I got flagged 4 times. I finally got it to stay monetized for about 3 hours. It's 9:30 right now. I looked at it at about 8:45 when I finished my Walking Dead stream. I looked at it. It was monetized. It had all the ads on it. I titled it. I didn't put anything in the description. I didn't put anything in the tags. I didn't put anything in the thumbnail. So I'm like, okay, it might be okay to do it. So I put a description, I put tags, and I put a thumbnail. As soon as I went back to my manager creator or my creator studio on my desktop, flagged. Didn't even have to look at the video, and it was already flagged. So a video that I know is already good to go and shouldn't be flagged had nothing but a title, no description, no tags. It had a green money symbol. So I put a title, a thumbnail, tags, and a description. Flagged. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You guys might be thinking that I'm picky or I'm just complaining and beating a dead horse. They are not taking money off my table. They are not taking almost an hour of my time away from me, and I'm not going to be compensated. And I'm not going to sit here for 4 days while my video gets 20,000 plus views and it's not monetized until after 4 days. I'm not going through that. I'm really not going through that. So it's ridiculous. You know, I'm not going through that at all. You're not taking money off my table. So I just want to let you guys know, and I want to let you guys know that I do have a Neville video coming up specifically on that entire topic. So if you guys are wondering where that is, hopefully I can get it uploaded Friday night for you guys. So hopefully we can do that. Another thing I want to make mention of here is I did download WWE 2K18. I actually went to GameStop because I didn't pre-order it through GameStop. I initially wanted to because they're literally like right around the corner here. I could walk there. It's easier for me to do that, and I always want the physical copy of the game. But I couldn't do that today because, or yesterday rather when I went, because I couldn't pre-order the deluxe edition through them. I had to do it through the PlayStation Store. So now I have a game that at the end of its life cycle, I can't trade in. You know, it's really ridiculous. You know, I wanted to buy the actual physical copy of the game, and now I don't have that this year. So I pre-downloaded it. It's all ready to go. It's 9:30 now, like I said. So by the time I'm finished this, hopefully we will be within an hour or two from WWE 2K18. I'm not really going to be doing any live streaming, I don't think, today. But I do have the game. It's all ready to go. It's loaded on my system. I'm probably going to work on my create a character first. Probably set up my universe mode and get everything done for you guys. And plan out a schedule of what to do next week. So you guys have all the content ready and waiting for you to either watch on YouTube or watch on Twitch, depending on where I live stream. But the one thing that pissed me off, man, is that, and I love everybody in the community, I really do, you know. People make fun of me about, you know, being buddy-buddy with everybody, but I genuinely like everybody. I met a lot of the guys during SummerSlam weekend. I met Pulse, he's awesome. I met Dank last year, Big Red New York, fucking cool guy. Tony Pizza Guy, Macho T. I met all these guys. Tubby's nice. All of them are nice, right? I'm looking at my subscription feed, and all I see for the weeks leading up to 2K18 is, you know, exclusives here, exclusive there, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I see WWE 2K18, you know, the day before it's supposed to come out for everybody. I'm seeing all this shit, you know. They got the game early. WWE sent them, or WWE 2K sent them digital download codes to get the game early, to download it, to play it, to stream it, to upload it, to do whatever they want with it. At this point, I'm sick and tired of the game already. I haven't even picked up the controller and played it myself. I'm sick and tired of it. You know? It's like, what else is there to do as far as content goes for the game when everything has been done before the game comes out? This was my problem with the Call of Duty shit. Like, what else is there to do? So now I'm stuck doing a career mode that probably will do good for a week, and then it'll die, because it looks boring as shit. A universe mode that has no fucking cutscenes, that looks boring as shit. And then a road to glory that they haven't really filled anybody in on. Plus their online servers suck. So what am I getting here? I'm getting a fancier looking game, a better looking game, but the same thing that I got last year with 2K17. And the fact that all the content for the game has been pushed out to everybody's subscription boxes over the last 3 weeks, and then you got to give those guys the game early? Couldn't have everybody play the game at the same exact time, you know, and it be even. I hate that shit. I really do. And I'm in one of those moods where I just want to complain about everything. More so than normal. But it is what it is, man. I do got the game, and I'm going to do my very best this year, being that I'm home full time now. I'm going to do my very best to give you guys a great My Career, a great universe mode, and hopefully some entertaining stuff with the online feature, multiplayer with Road to Glory. So, fingers crossed, hopefully things go well with that. I just wanted to get that out there because I just found that to be a little frustrating when I woke up this morning, that everybody had the game already, streams uploaded and streams scheduled. It was ridiculous. So, it is what it is here, man. You know, I'm not really gonna complain too much about it. It's just, I think it's really unfair for the rest of us who have to wait around and play the game while everybody gets all the content that the game has already out, seen every entrance already. It's like, there's no surprises left. There's no surprises left. You know? But that's why you guys come here, because you look forward to Off the Script, and, you know, you guys enjoy what I do here, man. We're not uploading shit early. You know, we're not giving away spoilers and this and that. You're here for wrestling news. You're here for me. You're here for the God-honest truth about the product. There's no sugarcoating anything, and that's why I appreciate everybody to come out and support the podcast like you do each and every single week. I want you guys to follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. That is the best way to reach me. Lately, I've been getting a lot of salty people about me not getting back to you on Twitter. Excuse me if I don't dwell on Twitter all day long and that I don't see it because I'm getting 250,000 impressions a day on Twitter. Excuse me that you need me to comment to you or you know, be Mr. Cool Guy on Twitter each and every single day, every minute of the day. You can tell me something on Twitter, but I might not see it, okay? And most of the time, I get tweeted trash, like really, really stupid shit, to the point where I don't even think it's worthy of a reply back. Sometimes I like to be incognito, man. Sometimes I like to just see and look and see what's going on. You know, I use Twitter more as a news outlet when breaking news happens. I don't really look at my mentions all that often. They're there. I tweet out. I tweet out for you guys mainly to discuss. So if I don't answer you on Twitter, please do not get salty. That's all I ask of you. But if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, lots of cool shit going on there. And it's the best way to keep up to date on the channel. At JDFROMNY206. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Very, very important as of this weekend because WWE 2K18 is coming out. So there you go, man. Make sure you guys are really in sync with what's going on here. And we're going to have a lot of fun with 2K18, or at least try to. So make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on that bell for all your notifications, man. I upload every single day and will be doing so throughout the winter. Not only WWE 2K18, but Call of Duty World War II. And we have The Walking Dead each and every week, man. We're going to be doing the entire full season that the game has to offer. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, up until Season 4 when that comes out next year, man. So look forward to all of that each and every single week. And make sure you guys are turned on with the notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast, I want to thank everybody for checking out my sponsors. You can take a look at them right on the right side of the layout on the screen that you are watching me from, man. Whether it's your phone, your iPad, your TV, your PC. Those are all my sponsors there, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I don't know if you guys know, but I have new t-shirts out. I have a new t-shirt out, man. Get Off My TV, version 2, redone. Enzo Amore, Titus O'Neil, Jinder Mahal, and Bailey on the t-shirt. Make sure you guys go and get that. You can save yourself 20% off. Who doesn't want that t-shirt, man? It's barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code JD17 at checkout. I want to thank the people over at Fight TV for sponsoring me. As always, link for them is down below in the description. Go download the Fight TV app using our link. You guys can watch the Ring of Honor Global Wars pay-per-view this Sunday directly through the Fight TV app. You pay for it through the app, and you stream it directly to your TV. Simple as can be, bro. Simple as can be. Audible, giving you guys 1 month free of their service. That is 1 month plus 1 free audiobook of your choice. Go download the new Jim Ross book, man. I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. 11 hours of audio spoken by Jim Ross himself. So if you guys want to get that for free, and I'm sure he's got a lot of stories about Mr. Beaver and Vince McMahon himself, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go and do that. Great way to support the show. We're doing, or by doing, absolutely nothing, man. You guys can just listen to me and support for free by getting Audible for free, 30 days and one free audio book. And as always, patreon.com/JD206. All my Patreon beasts. You guys are going to get shout-outs to start Sunday's episode of Off the Script. Plus, you're going to get this episode early. Plus, you're going to get entry into my Off the Script Discord server. Plus, you're going to get Off the Script Retro. Plus, you're going to get Mario Kart gameplay, which I still have to provide to you guys this week. Patreon.com/JD206. And I am coming up with ideas for a $10 tier. So make sure you guys are going to do that, man, and check out the Patreon page. Without the Patreon page, without you guys supporting the podcast, I don't know what we do here on YouTube, man, because shit is not looking good again, man. It's just really out of control. But thank you guys for all your support. We're going to get into the podcast, man. I'm going to start off with this story here, and I want to start off with the Jimmy Jacobs story. Jimmy Jacobs, he came over from Ring of Honor, I believe. He was someone who was part of management in WWE, okay? He was known for his days in Ring of Honor, and Jericho even went out and stated that he was the one, Jimmy Jacobs was the one to come up with the list idea for Jericho's gimmick. He came up with the fashion scarves for Jericho's gimmick, amongst other things that I really haven't figured out what he did yet, but he was a creative mind, and he was an agent backstage in WWE that had a different mindset than what normal WWE agents and management have. He was an outside source. He was an outside party in the WWE management team that gave you a different perspective on a lot of different things. Not the typical run-of-the-mill, formulaic, stale, boring ideas and concepts that a normal WWE employee would do. He brings in a fresh, outside perspective. That's what I take away from this. That's what I take away from this. I also read that Jimmy Jacobs was very well liked in WWE by everybody, by other agents, by other management, and by the superstars themselves. So what could this guy possibly do wrong to get fired from the WWE? Drug problems? Alcohol problems? Did he punch an agent? Did he punch a superstar? Did he get into a verbal argument? Did he disrespect Vince McMahon? Did he do this? Did he do that? What could this guy have possibly done wrong to get himself fired? I don't know. I'm waiting. You guys got an answer? What could he have possibly done? Oh, I got it. Oh, Mr. JD, right here in the back of the class, man. Yes, Mr. Goon with the big teeth. What do you got for me? Oh, he took a picture with the Bullet Club, man. Excuse me? So, Jimmy Jacobs got fired from the WWE for taking a picture with Marty Scurll, Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, Nick and Matt Jackson of the Bullet Club. During the Raw invasion in California, I believe it was California, he took a picture before entering the building to go to his duties. He was just saying hello to friends that he worked with before he came to the WWE. Said hello, took a picture. Apparently they posted it on Instagram and Twitter and all these other social media outlets. So it takes WWE, I guess, a day or two to see this. They are obviously salty over the Bullet Club invasion, if you want to call it that. They want to get salty over the Bullet Club's presence outside of Monday Night Raw. So much that they sent cease and desist letters to Matt and Nick Jackson for Too Sweet and all this other shit. So they slapped him with a $150,000 fine. So Matt and Nick Jackson did the one thing that they know how to do, and that is be cool, calm, and collected businessmen. They took the cease and desist, they went away, and they marketed it on a new t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, blanking out the Too Sweet, cease and desist. They made a ton of money off that shirt, I am sure. But WWE is salty over the Bullet Club for whatever reason, that they now took it out on Jimmy Jacobs. So he is no longer working with the WWE. He was on their writing staff. So he was a creative writer. He was an agent since 2015. Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin reported that the final straw seems to have been a photo he took with the Bullet Club when they invaded Raw a couple of weeks ago in California. It's worth noting that the WWE has not officially confirmed his release, but the word is that he left the company last week. So when was this? What was this, 3 weeks ago? The invasion was 3 weeks ago. It took WWE 2 weeks to decide that they wanted to fire this guy for taking a photograph with his friends. Now, I don't know in what world where that makes sense. I don't know in what world would you fire the guy because he took pictures with his friends before going to do his job on what was a fucking dismal Monday Night Raw anyway. It's not like he, lend any credibility to it being a good show. So this guy got canned because he took a photograph with the Bullet Club. On 9/25, Jacobs wrote on Instagram, "Pleasant surprise to see old friends in lovely California. Hashtag BC Invasion. Hashtag Raw. Hashtag Young Bucks. Hashtag Bullet Club. Hashtag Villain. Hashtag Hangman Page. Hashtag WWE." WWE was not happy about the Bullet Club showing up outside Raw, and they were so upset that they sent a cease and desist to the Young Bucks. The heat wasn't just from WWE management, because Roman Reigns took a shot at the Young Bucks earlier this week during an interview. Jacobs was well liked by talent. He is credited by Chris Jericho for coming up with the list of Jericho and his scarf, amongst other things. Now, I completely forgot to put the Roman Reigns interview in my notes. If I can find an excerpt from this interview, I want to go over this with you. And I know this is somewhere. I'm looking on this website. Hold on one second, if I can find it. I know it's here. I know this was another big story. For whatever reason, Roman Reigns went in on the Bullet Club. Yeah, here we go. Roman Reigns throws shade at the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks responded. So, Roman Reigns was recently a guest on a conference call where he spoke on a variety of topics. Inside the Ropes was part of this call and shared a quote from Roman Reigns that is causing a bit of a stir in the wrestling world this week. Reigns was speaking about Braun Strowman and his character being original. It resulted in Roman mentioning that WWE doesn't need wrestlers doing two sweets and doing things like impersonating D-Generation X. Yeah, because the Shield was so original, right? Every faction that ever came into WWE did the same thing, did the same shit. Like Roman Reigns is so original, right? He's a carbon copy of John Cena. 5 moves of doom. He comes out to the original Shield theme. He doesn't have his own personality. He's got the personality of a brick wall. He has no charisma. He's a charisma vacuum. His hair is too greasy, right? Yeah, Roman Reigns is really original, though. That's like me saying, yeah, Slayer is ripping off Sepultura back in the 80s. So what? So what? Who gives a shit? Megadeth is ripping off Metallica. Who gives a shit? Are you honestly making this an issue, Mr. Roman Reigns? Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, right? So what, Dunkin' Donuts can't make lattes now? Dunkin' Donuts can't serve iced tea? Dunkin' Donuts can't serve chai? Well, we can't have more of one of the same thing. So we can't have guys doing too sweet. When Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan actually praised the Young Bucks for doing too sweet. They found it to be a nice nod to the old school guys. What's the issue? Why does Roman Reigns have an issue with it? Who is Roman Reigns to be upset about anything? Why don't you mind your own business? The Young Bucks were never directly named, but obviously the shade was thrown here. But it's easy to put the pieces together. Here was the quote from Roman Reigns. This is what he said on this conference call. And I quote, "No offense to any of these guys, but we don't need guys running around doing two sweets. And we don't need guys acting like they are DX from, 15 years ago. We need original characters. End quote. So Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks went on their Twitter and says, oh, come on, guys. What makes you think he's talking about us? You'd expect old-timers and shock jocks to bury you, but not current young top guys that you actually respect. Disappointing. Hashtag us versus them. By the way, the Young Bucks have also signed a deal with Funko, and in 2018 we will be seeing Young Bucks Funko Pop. Hopefully that includes other Bullet Club members. As soon as that is available, and I hope that they all are, I'm scooping up every fucking one of them, because I know that's going to be worth a lot of money. Still looking for the Zack Ryder one, though. The Comic-Con exclusive, by the way. Went to the comic book store up the street from me, and they didn't have it. They said they were going to have the original one without the Comic-Con sticker on the box. I need the one with the Comic-Con sticker on the box, because that one's going to be the collectible one. But if any of you guys have any information on it, let me know. I know FYE is probably selling it, but not the Comic-Con one. Let me know if you guys see it, and I will gladly pay for your services. But that is the latest there on the Roman Reigns Young Bucks situation, and Roman Reigns throwing shade at the Young Bucks. WWE is so ridiculous. They really are. WWE is so petty. With this whole Neville situation, it's like they're driving people to leave the company just by the way that they act. Like, why are you caring about what the Bullet Club is doing if you don't find the Bullet Club to be a threat to your business? You see more Bullet Club t-shirts at WWE shows than you actually see WWE t-shirts at WWE shows. You watch NXT, Bullet Club everywhere. The one thing you see when you turn on Monday Night Raw is you immediately see a Bullet Club t-shirt or Bullet Club paraphernalia in the crowd. It is everywhere. It is everywhere. I'm in Target last week, shopping for food, and I see a guy wearing a Kenny Omega Bullet Club t-shirt walking down the aisle, shopping for frozen food. I was wearing my CM Punk t-shirt. He didn't even give me a second look because he probably hates CM Punk. But I wanted to say, nice shirt. Now, normally I'm wearing my Kenny Omega shirt, and I usually say, hey, bro, nice shirt. And he's like, hey, yeah, man, nice shirt. And then we do it too sweet. But, I mean, it's so big now where, I live in the Bronx. You don't really see people wearing Bullet Club paraphernalia in the Bronx. I seen one literally 5 minutes from my house. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. WWE is driving people out of their company. They're driving the likes of Neville out of their company. They're driving people like Dolph Ziggler out of their company, who's not going to re-sign with the company anymore. They had Daniel Bryan go on just a verbal tirade on Twitter saying that he wants to wrestle. And he's throwing shade at WWE that he wants to wrestle, making quotes to Ring of Honor and to Cody Rhodes. And, Matt and Nick Jackson are offering him a spot in the Bullet Club. Or Daniel Bryan saying that he would love to wrestle everybody in the Bullet Club, His wife coming out saying that Bryan wants to wrestle, but WWE won't let him. They're driving Daniel Bryan away. They drove Neville away. They drove Punk away. Who is next? Who is next? How long is it going to take before they drive Shinsuke Nakamura away with shitty booking? How long is it going to take before they drive Sami Zayn away with shitty booking? How long is it going to take before they drive anybody else away because of shitty booking? You got the club who's been booked horrifically, right? This is ridiculous. And then WWE wants to throw shade via Roman Reigns to the Young Bucks in the Bullet Club. WWE wants to send cease and desists. WWE wants to fire their own talent for taking pictures with the Bullet Club. Where do you think Jimmy Jacobs is going to go? He's going to go right back to the fucking Bullet Club. He's going to go right back to Ring of Honor. Why would you do that to somebody for merely taking a picture of their friends? That's like me if I worked at Starbucks and I came into my shift drinking a Dunkin' Donuts large iced coffee like I usually do. So what? So what? That's grounds for termination? That's grounds for termination. That's like me getting kicked out of a Metallica concert because I'm wearing a Megadeth t-shirt. That's petty. Come on, man. WWE doesn't want to, acknowledge that the Bullet Club exists. But they're doing everything to make sure you know that the Bullet Club exists. WWE is clearly jealous of the Bullet Club's popularity. The Bullet Club is more popular than anybody they have on their current roster. 90% of the roster in WWE would probably love to be a part of the Bullet Club. But they can't. No, but it's okay for Seth Rollins to make mention of Kenny Omega, right? Remember that? Who do you want to be in the Royal Rumble? I remember that as if it was yesterday. I think they ended up taking it down, though. It's okay for Seth Rollins to mention, who would you like to be, who would you like to see in the Royal Rumble? That's a surprise. Seth Rollins comes out and blatantly says, I'd love to see the cleaner Kenny Omega in the Royal Rumble. Was Seth Rollins fired? Was he suspended? Was he docked pay? What? Then I'm reading today, let me see if I can find this. The Young Bucks. Where the fuck is it? I know I seen it today. The Young Bucks are actually doing work for WWE 2K19. I read it today and I know I seen it. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. Young Bucks contacted to work on WWE 2K19. There's no ads playing on these fucking websites. The WWE and the Young Bucks have gotten, or haven't gotten along well in recent weeks. There was probably a better feeling coming from the Young Bucks camp, but since WWE sent them cease and desist letters, there can't be too much love between the two sides. WWE reportedly is firing people for even taking pictures with Matt and Nick Jackson. Therefore, it might be out of the question that the Young Bucks would get an offer from WWE of any kind. Well, this doesn't necessarily come from WWE, but it's pretty close. Because obviously 2K works closely with WWE. Vince McMahon is the final guy to make all final decisions on what is in the game, who's on the cover, who's the DLC superstar. Obviously, it all goes through Vince McMahon. So according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Young Bucks were contacted by 2K about doing motion capture work for 2K19. 2K wanted Matt and Nick Jackson's moves due to the demand for character creators trying to mimic the Young Bucks' unique moveset using Creator Wrestler. This is certainly an interesting thing of note, and another example of the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. Then again, since 2K is only contracted to work with WWE and not an official part of the organization, it's more like the prosthetic right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. Either way, it is very interesting timing because the offer from 2K came a day after the Young Bucks received the cease and desist letter from WWE following their Raw Invasion segment. Then obviously Jimmy Jacobs being fired by WWE for taking a picture. You know, it's unreal. It's unreal. All I see from this is WWE saltiness all over the place, dude. WWE is sprinkling salt all over the place. Jealous of the Bullet Club. And if they don't want to bring awareness to the Bullet Club, then they shouldn't do anything. They shouldn't mention anything. They shouldn't send any letters out. They shouldn't be firing anybody. But you're bringing more awareness to the Bullet Club, and you're making yourself look bad in the end, because in the end, the Bullet Club is not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. Wow, they did it too sweet. There's too sweets everywhere. The crowd does too sweet when there's a 2 count. You know? What, are you going to fire the entire crowd? You're going to throw the entire crowd out from an NXT show? It's ridiculous. What have they done wrong? Matt and Nick Jackson, if anything, they should be commended for their professionalism, and they should be commended for having a brain. They have turned this nightmare, they have turned all this stress and frustration into money. Because they're growing their brand. They are making money off merchandise. Being the Elite is wildly popular on YouTube. That show on their channel gets more views. I'm sure that gets more views than anything on the WWE Network. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. So if you don't want to make people aware of the Bullet Club, then don't do anything like you're doing now. No reason to fire Jimmy Jacobs over anything. You know? How do you feel? How do you think he feels being fired? You know? Probably had guys telling him he did a good job. Jericho thanked him. How do you think he feels by getting fired for taking a photograph of Someone who you deem not competition. WWE didn't think the Bullet Club or New Japan was competition, then they would just blow it off like they usually do. Like when TNA is brought up. Who the fuck are they, you know? Competition. We're the big dog in town. WWE has to, you know, open their eyes. They're not the only dog in town anymore, no matter how hard you try to be the only one. There are more than one alternative now for WWE or WWE fans to go watch wrestling somewhere else. That's why you don't have the audience you do anymore. That's why your ratings are dipping lower and lower and lower, you know, down the drain. People are migrating over to these other promotions. They're watching Ring of Honor. They're watching... unfortunately, you know, I don't know who would want to put themselves through that torture and torment. Global Force Wrestling or Impact Wrestling or whatever the fuck they're going by now. The people are watching New Japan. People are subscribing to New Japan World. You know, people are already talking about Wrestle Kingdom 12. People are already talking about Okada and Naito. People are already talking about Omega and Ibushi. You know, you don't see people talking about WrestleMania. The only words you see uttered from people talking about WrestleMania is how much of a disaster it's going to be. And how the main event already rumored is just completely illogical garbage. It is cringeworthy. It's a main event that's going to make you shut the television off before the show even ends. So if WWE didn't think that the Bullet Club was competition, then they would have just swept this under the rug and just ignored them. They're just... flies on shit. You know how you're sitting at a barbecue, pesky gnats, you know, flying all over the place, buzzing around the fucking chicken and the mashed potatoes, right, outside, and the ribs that you just grilled. That's all that they should be doing as far as the Bullet Club is concerned. But no, they're making the Bullet Club seem more dominant and bigger than WWE sees them. So what? So what? Matt and Nick Jackson did absolutely nothing wrong as far as I'm concerned. But to me, they deserve a shout out. They deserve to be commended for their professionalism, man. They haven't said anything. They've been respectful to everybody. They haven't cursed anybody out. They haven't gotten angry. They haven't had a Twitter war with anybody. They just want to do their thing and make their money. If anything, they're coming off as fans. So what? We can't be fans of the pioneers of the past? What if it's an homage to the NWO? What if it's an homage to D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H? Who gives a shit? But then WWE, the hypocrites that they are, they'll turn around in 2018 or 2019 with the Young Bucks. I know it's 2019. I'm not sure when Omega is a free agent, but we'll say 2019 because people were telling me that the Young Bucks and Omega have a contract together and they're both contractually binded to Ring of Honor, New Japan, whatever, for 2009 or till 2019. This is some real good way that the WWE is treating their future prospects, right? They have their eyes on the Bullet Club members. Because you know for a fact WWE's looking at Marty Scurll, or whenever his contract's over. You know WWE wants Cody Rhodes back. You know WWE, especially Triple H, would probably want the Young Bucks for NXT. You know WWE wants Kenny Omega. That's no secret at all. This is really some way of luring them in. Unless this is one big work, which I doubt it is. You know? I don't understand why you're treating guys who you want now for other promotions, for your promotion in a couple of years, like this. This is not going to get them to sign with the WWE. In fact, they're going to sign for more money somewhere else, and they're going to continue doing what they're doing. They don't need you. They're just shoving in your face that they don't need you. They're bigger than anything you've got on television right now. Clearly they don't need you. But that's no way to treat guys that you want. And WWE would turn around and be hypocrites. They'll offer these guys a contract in 2019 after they put them through all this stress. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Matt and Nick Jackson have been absolutely professional about this entire thing. In fact, WWE is the one who is looking bad in the end. No question. Jimmy Jacobs, I feel sorry for him. He should not have been fired at all for taking a picture with the Bullet Club, man. Absolutely ridiculous on WWE's behalf. So I feel like this is the best story to kind of lead into following that Jimmy Jacobs story, because to me, this is just downright hypocrisy. It really is. I don't know why WWE makes themselves look like the biggest fools and the biggest hypocrites out there in the wrestling land. Stephanie McMahon talks about WWE listening to their fans. Really? Really now? If you listened, Roman Reigns wouldn't be in the top spot on Monday Night Raw or in the WWE. If you listened, Jinder Mahal wouldn't be your WWE champion. Right? So clearly you don't listen. People know what they want. People voice their opinion about what they want. Now, I understand you can't please everybody, and the people that voice their opinion is just a small demographic. And I know WWE isn't in the business of pleasing everybody, but they certainly don't listen to their fans. This is just downright bullshit. Stephanie McMahon recently spoke to Fortune magazine, and it was an episode or a magazine article from Fortune about the most powerful women in business. One of the things that she spoke about was WWE listening to their fans and it being a key reason for the company's success. This is some of the highlights of what she said during this interview. And I quote, "Our audience tells us what they love, what they don't like, and worst, what they don't care about." What they love, anything but Roman Reigns. What they don't like, Roman Reigns. And worst, what they don't care about, Roman Reigns. Are changes being made? Of course not. Of course not. End quote. Stephanie says that they do pivot on the fly, and it is an advantage for the company that their shows are live. This is because they can get feedback from the audience in real time. She also says that WWE plans their storylines in advance, but things happen. They plan their storylines in advance? Yeah, because that's why I reported something that's going up later about Vince McMahon doing last-minute changes while the show was going on the air. Yeah, plans in advance. Sure thing, Stephanie McMahon. Injuries can occur or fans don't relate to a certain character. Roman Reigns. Sorry, man. I had to clear my throat. My throat is dry. Let me take a sip of my seltzer here. You know, I have to clear something from my throat. I'm sorry I have to do this on the podcast. That's much better. Roman Reigns. She says the ability to twist or shift gears is key for them. She also says in NXT, fans have the biggest say in who gets called up to the main roster. Really? Really? Maybe the fans should realize that they need to be quiet next time about somebody that they want on the main roster. So they stay down in NXT forever. Because we know when they get demoted from NXT to the main roster, and no, I didn't stutter over my words, demoted to Raw or SmackDown, that more than likely they will fail. Unless your name is Roman Reigns. Sorry, man. Gotta clear my throat. I got something lodged in there, man. I can't get it out. I quote here, "Our audience is actually determining who makes it to the next level, and they know it." End quote. Sure thing, Stephanie McMahon. Thank you for being yet another hypocrite on WWE's corporate ladder. Appreciate that very much. Speaking of somebody that the fans don't want on their TV yet is still here, Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal reportedly working through an injury. He retains his WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell against Shinsuke Nakamura. Thank you for reminding me yet again how miserable WWE creative is. According to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Jinder has been wrestling through an injury. Oh, poor baby. I hope this injury is severe enough to where he has to drop the title. I'd love to see that. I don't wish injury upon anybody else, but I wish him injury enough to where he would drop the title and can't compete for a couple of weeks or a month or two, you know? You know? He sucks! What do you want me to say? He's garbage. Here's some of the details that we know. According to Dave Meltzer, Jinder has been working through a shoulder injury that has been bothering him for the past little while. I know there'll be some goon in the comments. "Oh, JD, how could you be so mean, man? How could you wish injury to someone, man?" Easy. When it's Jinder Mahal, somebody who doesn't deserve to be WWE champion, it's just easy. It's free-flowing off the tongue. You know? Jinder or AJ Styles? A fucking idiot can give you the answer to that. So according to the report, Jinder's been working through a shoulder injury that has been bothering him for the past little while. Jinder has been wearing kinesio tape, that tape that Cesaro wears all over his back when he comes out to compete at WWE live events. Does that tape actually work? I've always wondered that. Does that tape actually work? I've seen Sasha Banks wearing it, you know? He did not wear the tape during Hell in a Cell and is believed that WWE doesn't want to show him taped up on TV. I wish they wouldn't show him on TV, period. No, they don't want to have him go out there with tape, but they'd rather him go out there with the WWE title. Yeah, what sense that makes, right? So, he's wearing kinesio tape at WWE house shows, but they don't want to show him on TV with the kinesio tape. Oh, poor baby. Jinder Mahal is so protected. He's so protected in WWE, man. I know there's an article here because I read it. And I gotta find it. Triple H praising Jinder Mahal. More corporate garbage from WWE. If I could find it, please. Where the hell is it? I don't know why I didn't take these notes. I can't find it. My God. Where is it? I'm going to have to cut here. If you guys see a transition on YouTube, it's because I'm looking for the fucking news article. You guys got to listen to this. Here we go. I found it. Triple H spoke to IANS last week while he was in India. These are a couple of highlights as transcribed by WrestlingInc.com. Yeah, so this is just wickedly coincidental, right? So they got Jinder Mahal, the guy that they got as the WWE champion on SmackDown Live, who's the guy that they are coincidentally pushing in India, right, in the Indian market. Triple H is speaking to an Indian newspaper, an Indian tabloid, an Indian news station here, right? I'm sure this has absolutely nothing to do with what he's about to say here. Nothing. I'm sure Triple H genuinely believes in what he's about to say. Jinder Mahal has done an amazing job in recreating himself. Really. He's done an amazing job. Sure, all it took was a few needles, right? A few needles up the ass, and boom. Or does WWE have a secret laboratory somewhere where they just develop these guys and turn them into just freaks of nature? You know, I could easily envision that. I could see WWE. I could see it somewhere being in Vince McMahon's basement. He's got some secret fucking lair down in his mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut, where he invites these guys over, right? He jiggles their balls a little bit as compensation. He goes down there with his project. You know, they see him. Oh, done. We got to make him a WWE champion. You know? And there's, just picture Stewie and his time machine, Just picture Jinder Mahal walking into some contraption like that, and there's three options. There's WWE Champion, there's Intercontinental Champion, and then there's Jobber, right? So they hit the WWE Champion button, presto changeo, he goes in looking like out-of-shape Jinder Mahal, and then 4 weeks later, he comes out, he's ready, he's incubated, he's well done, he comes out looking like Jinder Mahal. Now, Nemesis from Resident Evil, Guarantee you that's something along those lines is being done down in Vince McMahon's dungeon. He's got a secret dungeon down in his mansion. I can guarantee it, bro. It's like some fucking horror story. It is Friday the 13th. I wouldn't be surprised. So Jinder Mahal has done an amazing job in recreating himself. Really. Maybe he should take that amazing job and apply it to his in-ring skills, because they are garbage. Jinder was in WWE for the first time. Doesn't it feel good that I'm ragging on Jinder Mahal more than I am Roman Reigns lately? A little golf clap for myself there. Didn't think it could be done, but it's done. Jinder was in WWE for the first time and wasn't as successful as he would have wanted. Because he sucked. And he didn't look the way he looks now. That's why he wasn't successful. But we went back and re-energized him. Dug deeper. He dug deeper within himself, and he worked extremely hard in his second chance, and now is making the most of it. People can criticize him, but he's earned my respect. End quote. WWE stars aren't just being more than athletes. Triple H had this to say. They are more than just athletes. They are the best and most well-conditioned athletes But beyond that, they are the best entertainers in the world. I would not go as far as to say Jinder Mahal is one of the best entertainers in the world. He's not. Please, I want to vomit in my mouth. Their ability to be able to control the crowd and to garner these emotions and also tell the story they want to tell through athletic maneuvers. And this is what makes them different. Triple H also discussed to the company, or about the company, not presenting the right pathways for athletes in India in the past, and how many Indians are now under contract with the WWE, and more. The less, the better. Because nobody from India, clearly, nobody wants to see anybody from India on television. Jinder is the next kin in line, following the Great Khali. If the Great Khali was any indication, I think we've had enough. Keep whatever is over there, and don't bring it to light here in the United States. That's all I gotta say about that. As fucked up as that may sound, you know, Jinder isn't doing anything for anybody. Great Khali was one of the worst wrestlers in history. So if that's anything to be going off of here from India, I think we're good, Triple H. I think we're fine. So that's that on Triple H jiggling the balls of Jinder Mahal and speaking highly of Jinder Mahal in a very politically-esque environment over there in India as they do their business. Who cares? Moving on here. What else did I have here? I had something on Asuka. I got something on Asuka here. But why is Asuka and Emma going one-on-one at TLC? So this is the reason for that. I'm pretty sure it's not that difficult for you guys to figure out. Emma was able to defeat Sasha Banks, Bayley, Botch, and Alicia Fox on Monday Night Raw this week. As a result, she earned herself a loss against Asuka at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs in about 2 weeks. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, there is a reason why WWE chose Emma as Asuka's debut opponent. And I've been saying this for weeks now. All you guys got to do is go back and watch TakeOver London and the opening match to that TakeOver show on the WWE Network. I knew that would be brought to light here, and that's exactly what's happening. Emma was reportedly always the plan to be the first person to wrestle Asuka. This is because they have worked well together in the past and have put on a high-quality match with one another. But normally what translates down to NXT doesn't normally translate to the main roster. They may have had a great women's match in NXT, but I doubt we see half of that at TLC. WWE main roster has a tendency to hold people back. They make sure that the handcuffs are really tight around the wrists, and that ball and chain is really tied around the ankles, nice and tight, you know? So I doubt that they're going to have a blow-away match like they did at TakeOver, though Emma could really use it. It could really show what Asuka could do on the main roster. You know, I don't want to bury Emma here completely, because we know she's going into this losing, but you don't want to bury her completely, right? You want to make her look somewhat good, because she's a good wrestler. She really is good. Very good. So Emma has reportedly always been the plan. They have worked well together in the past. For those that don't remember, they faced off at TakeOver London back in December of 2015. This was only the second NXT TakeOver event for Asuka. Her and Emma put on one of the best matches of the night. I would go as far as to say the best match of the night. Crowd was hot for that shit. Crazy. For those that wanted Asuka's opponent to be Sasha or Bayley, the feeling, according to Meltzer, is that those matches will be properly built towards in the future. Asuka's debut will be all about making her look strong, and it makes sense to save those matches for a later date. I would move Sasha to SmackDown Live in a trade with Charlotte. I'd bring Charlotte over to Monday Night Raw, and I would build Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. But WWE doesn't have the brains to come up with something that logical, and they're probably just going to have Asuka lose to Dana Brooke on the road to WrestleMania or something like that, and then have Asuka seek revenge at WrestleMania or some shit like that. Guaranteed. Because if they're booking Nakamura this badly, Asuka is just a foreshadowing of what damage WWE could do. Okay? Asuka's debut will be all about making her look strong, and they will save those matches for a later date. Everybody and their sister knows that Asuka will likely be winning her debut match. The key will be to make her look good in her first appearance on the main roster. If WWE trusts Emma in this position, this could be a role that she could really, you know, thrive in going on into the future. Obviously, they're putting Emma in this role because they do trust her to make Asuka look good. So that is the reason why WWE has chosen Emma as Asuka's debut opponent for TLC. The original plans for Luke Harper and Erick Rowan, who are now the Bludgeon Brothers. They look like they're extras in a Amon Amarth video. I don't know what the Bludgeon Brothers mean. I don't know what their gimmick is, but they're holding sledgehammers. I don't know if they're part of what's those creatures in Zelda? The fucking rock creatures, right? The Gerudo? Those guys, those rock-looking guys, right? It looks like they could be going to work for the chief of Gerudo Village in The Legend of Zelda, you know? It's ridiculous. Who comes up with this shit? Why did they ever break them away from the Wyatt family? Erick Rowan and Luke Harper returned to SmackDown Live this week. Another golf clap. We thought they were banished to Titus Catering for the rest of eternity. Maybe they got sick of the fucking key lime pie. Because, you know, Simon Gotch is not there. So they appeared on SmackDown Live this week. They referred to themselves as the Bludgeon Brothers. And they were holding onto some giant mallets. Now, if they only use those mallets to crush Jinder Mahal so that we can have him off of television. 1 week is not enough. We need him off permanently. Looks like this is a fresh start for the former Wyatt family members, and it should be interesting to see how it develops over the next few weeks on SmackDown Live. Now, these are the original notes for Harper and Rowan. Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that the original plan for their return was to build them as a team that would be loosely based on the team Demolition. Yeah, because that went so well for the Ascension, right? That went over so well for the Ascension. People call them a Legion of Doom ripoff or a Demolition ripoff. And what did they do? They fed them to the Acolytes, the APA, Protection Agency. They fed them to the New Age Outlaws. Yeah, that was great, right? Really worked out well for the Ascension. So now you want to have these guys based on Demolition? Does anybody watching the product now even know who Demolition is? No. At the moment, it is unclear if that will be the case moving forward or if this Bludgeon Brothers gimmick will be something completely different. As far as I know, looked like Luke Harper didn't even want to be there. It looked like somebody held a gun to his head to cut that promo. Awful. And we know Luke Harper can cut a damn good promo. Also, a few months back, it was reported that Harper and Rowan were expected to be revealed as the attackers of Breezango. As many fans have picked up on their debut this week, the Bludgeon Brothers works perfectly with the 2B hint. That was on a previous Fashion Files episode. It is unclear if the WWE still plans on revealing them as Breezango's attackers, but it seems like a big possibility. I'm all for giving people a chance. I'll give this 1 week. In 1 week, you can tell if it's going to be good, it's going to get over, people are going to be receptive to it, what the crowd reaction is going to be, how they're going to be positioned on SmackDown Live. I'll give it 1 week. Max 2 weeks. That's all you need for this. And at that 2 weeks, don't give a shit if you think I'm critical or not. I'm going to deem it a failure or something I want to see more of. That's all you need. For something like that, you don't need any more. Don't understand why WWE didn't put Luke Harper in a singles role. The guy was getting over, but nope. You're getting over on your own. We can't allow that here in WWE. It's against policy. Erick Rowan, WWE didn't want to sign Crazy Steve. They had Erick Rowan debut some clown gimmick at house shows with balloons and masks. Crazy Steve would have been perfect. That would have been a good tag team. Crazy clowns, you know? Crazy Steve and Erick Rowan. I think that would have been well. Crazy Steve could have been the insane little guy, and Erick Rowan could have been the big monster guy. Could have been a nice little tag team there. And Luke Harper could have been on his own, challenging for the U.S. title as a babyface, because people were getting used to him, and people wanted to see him, and he cleaned his shirt. He cleaned his shirt! WWE didn't want it. So now we're stuck with the Bludgeon Brothers. Yes, we need tag teams. Yes, I'm going to give it a chance, but, you know, these gimmicks that WWE comes up with in modern day, 2017, they don't seem to stick. They don't seem to stick. Hopefully this sticks, because they're better together than they are separately. You know, if they were separate, Erick Rowan would be miscast, and Luke Harper would be the one reaping the benefits. Hopefully Erick Rowan can feed off Luke Harper in a repackaged tag team with both guys. That's all we can hope for. Other than that, I'm not putting much stock into the Bludgeon Brothers whatsoever. I got news here on WWE potentially signing Ricochet to a NXT deal. And we'll probably end with this because we're over 1 hour by now. And I don't want to go through all my news in one day. I think I gave you guys enough for one episode. Ricochet headed to the WWE. I wish. Hot on the heels of Neville possibly asking, and by the way, Ricochet was a part of the first House of Glory event that I ever commentated. He went one-on-one with Anthony Gangone for the House of Glory World title. Can't beat that, bro. Ricochet, one of my favorites on the indies. I think he's got world champion written all over him. He might need to work on his mic work, but other than that, what you see from Ricochet in the ring, my God, he'd be over as fuck in WWE. If booked correctly. Don't put him in the hands of Kevin Dunn or Vince McMahon. My God, they won't know what to do with him. Hot on the heels of Neville, possibly asking for his WWE release. Hopefully I'll have that video out later today if it's good to go. A similar indie sensation might actually be headed to the company based on a video interview that Ricochet did after the New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling event this past weekend. The High Flyer superstar gave what appeared to be a farewell speech to New Japan, adding fuel to the rumors that he is on his way to the WWE. Ricochet had contractual obligations to Lucha Underground and was also working in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling. However, his contract with Lucha Underground officially expired in July, and he was free to work in other companies. Ricochet worked under a mask and the name Prince Puma in Lucha Underground and was one of the biggest stars in the experimental wrestling promotion. Lucha Underground has contracts that do not allow wrestlers to compete elsewhere as long as they have upcoming television appearances, which is tough since they tape so far in advance. Now, I am not sure what the world title match is. I believe it's Ricochet versus Johnny Mundo for the last match in Season 3 of Lucha Underground. I believe that Ricochet, Prince Puma, has 90 days from his last television match on Lucha Underground. So, realistically, he won't be able to compete in WWE if signed until Royal Rumble time. So, that's pretty shitty. For Ricochet, the contract had ended in July. In New Japan, Ricochet worked in the tag team called Funky Future alongside Japanese superstar Taguchi. The two competed at the New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling event and held the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Roppongi 3K, Sho, and Yo beat Funky Future for the titles at the New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling event. In the post-match interview, Ricochet said that the loss was his fault, and then he thanked New Japan, the fans, and everyone before apologizing for losing. Sounded very close to a farewell speech. Now, Richard Gray of Wrestling News World reported that Ricochet has cleared up his schedule and all his obligations, and he will be taking the month of November off and then head to WWE. He can't actually appear on television for the WWE until mid-January because of his Lucha Underground clause that prohibits it for 90 days after Season 3 of their current season ending. However, Ricochet could head to the Performance Center in December and work some dark matches with either the main brand or NXT. It would give him a chance to work the WWE style before making his official debut. After that, there are a few options for Ricochet. He could debut in NXT, which would be the right decision, because at that point, Drew McIntyre is primed and ready for a main roster spot, dude. Drew McIntyre could drop the title to Adam Cole or somebody else, whoever WWE wants to see, Aleister Black, whatever. You know, drop it to Aleister Black. Drop it to Aleister Black. And then give me a main event of Aleister Black and Ricochet at TakeOver New Orleans. Did I make you just cream yourself a little bit just by the thought of that match? Really? Really? Because I'm getting excited. Yeah. I'm getting excited. Ricochet versus Aleister Black for the NXT World Championship. I mean, besides Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, what's going to beat that? Nothing. Now, but Ricochet is another one of these aerial monkeys that nobody gives a shit about. The guy is so fucking talented. You know, the guy, I love how people talk trash about Ricochet. Can you do what he does? Can you move the way he does? Unless you could do and mimic him move for move as fluidly as he does. Shut your mouth. You know? Ricochet Debuting in NXT would be the best thing. Drew McIntyre, at that point, he's ready now. Move him up to SmackDown Live. You know? He could also move straight to 205. Oh, my God. I don't believe they actually wrote that. Can you imagine Ricochet on 205 Live? Yeah, unless you want someone else to walk out of WWE, put them on 205 Live, because that seems to be the going theme now, you know? Austin Aries left. He said, fuck you, WWE. Neville left WWE. Yeah, just put someone on 205 Live and have them walk out of WWE. Put Hideo Itami on 205 Live. Give him 6 months, he'll be gone. He'll walk out, go back to Japan. Yeah, put Johnny Gargano on 205 Live. He'll be back down in Progress before you know it. Right? Put Ricochet on 205 Live. He'll be in New Japan before you know it. You know? Like 205 is a death sentence. Do not do that to Ricochet. Don't do that to anybody. 205 Live needs to be canceled. Period. I don't even know why it's a show. Who watches 205 Live? The only people I know who watch 205 Live is Steven Larson. And now they're not going to be watching because Neville's not there anymore. There's no reason to watch it. 205 Live, they might have an open position because of Neville quitting. Another less likely option would be for Ricochet to debut at the Royal Rumble. No. He's not as popular as AJ Styles. I would not want that to happen. Though he could probably fucking out-wrestle anybody on the main roster. But I'd love to see Balor and Ricochet, Rollins and Ricochet, Styles and Ricochet. Would he even be able to use the Ricochet name? You know, depends on what WWE's going to give him as a name. You know, so I would not debut him in the Royal Rumble. That would be just a colossal mistake. It was a mistake with AJ Styles. So I would not want that for Ricochet. Ricochet is not a popular name like Styles, and it would not be over with the casual WWE clown. So I would not want that. 205 Live, no. NXT, yes, that is the best thing. 205 Live is just a death sentence to everybody. Raw and SmackDown is a death sentence to anybody coming up from NXT. Put him on NXT and make him easily a contender for your world championship down there. Ricochet is so talented. I could see him just challenging for the world title right away, man. He doesn't need, you know, warm-up matches. He doesn't need to be built up. You know, I know you got Adam Cole down there. He's probably going to be next in line. But, I mean, Drew McIntyre's ready to be called up. Aleister Black versus Ricochet in the main event of WrestleMania weekend for NXT, man. My God. My God. Holy shit. You know, so we'll see what happens. But Ricochet looking like he's headed to WWE. That's what Richard Gray of Wrestling News World is reporting. I can only hope. He is one of my favorite indie talents right now. I've seen him come in and out of House of Glory. He's mesmerized everybody in House of Glory. And I'm hoping that he comes to NXT so you guys can get a chance to see how special Ricochet really is in that ring, man. I hope so, and I wish him the best, and I hope Triple H does him good and brings him to NXT. And that is off the script this weekend for Friday, man. Thank you guys so much. Episode 191, part number 1 in the books. Make sure you guys subscribe to me down below. Follow me on Twitter. Check out all my sponsors on the right side of the layout. So make sure you guys support through that. And I will be back for part 2 of Off the Script this weekend. Other stories we got this weekend. Jinder Mahal's next opponent might be lined up for the WWE Championship. Conor McGregor rumored to be coming for a WrestleMania 34 match, but Dana White shoots down those rumors on Good Morning America here in New York City. Update on Shane McMahon's injuries. Why did the WWE decide to reunite the Shield? I could tell you why. I've been saying it for 2 weeks now. And I got the real reason why WWE will not turn Bray Wyatt baby face. All that plus so much more right here on Off the Script. That's what you guys got to look forward to this weekend for the podcast. I'm JD. Have a good night. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. Remember to hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you all right back here on Saturday morning for part 2 of Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.